Hello, everybody. Welcome to another day of Cowardly Dog Howloween. Today, we're going to be talking about the Stormy Weather, Sandman sleeps, hard drive courage, and the Valkyries. So, Stormy Weather is an episode about a storm goddess who has lost her dog, and she goes to nowhere and sees Courage, and she said, realizes Courage looks exactly like her Duncan, which is the name of her dog. So she picks up Courage. Obviously, he doesn't want to be held by her, and Mario sees that he's made a new friend. Of course, the storm goddess comes into the house and she shows off, the picture of Duncan, which kind of somewhat resembles Courage, but really doesn't. So, her and Muriel get into an argument about, her taking Courage with her since she doesn't know what Duncan is. And they get into an argument, and this causes a storm. So Courage gets hit by the picture of Duncan, and he goes out to find him. He looks everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. Eventually, he finds his friend, the rat, and he tells him, "I know where I've seen that dog before." He tells him he's in the sewers. So he goes and finds Duncan, and he is near what's called the God Bone. And there's a problem. So apparently, if the dog was to lick the God Bone, she used to like the God Bone. It's just that good. And so he tries to get Duncan away from the God Bone, but his tongue starts licking the God Bone. Courage's tongue. And Courage tries to stop his tongue from licking it, and eventually ties his tongue up, and then he tries to take Duncan out, but these bones of these dogs comes to life and starts attacking them. Eventually, Courage does get Duncan does take the God bone with them, and eventually they go back to the surface, and Duncan doesn't want to let go of the God bone. So the storm goddess, starts hugging on him, and Duncan gets jealous. Eventually, Courage makes him so jealous that he lets go of the God bone, and the storm goddess and Duncan finally go home. And Courage even gets his God bone. Our next episode is The Sandman Sleeps. Now, Sandman Sleeps is an interesting episode. Basically, the episode opens up with Courage in bed with Muriel snoring. She snores so loud that Courage has to put earplugs in its ear, or corks. And eventually we turn to the Sandman, who's trying to get some sleep by counting sheep. And he just can't sleep. And one sheep hits him, and he goes, "Go to sleep." Well, yeah. And the Sandman hears, goes over to his window and starts listening to all the people sleeping. And eventually he hears Muriel snoring. And so, excuse me, he goes out and finds Muriel, and he takes her sand from her and puts it on him. And this causes Muriel to not be able to sleep. So the next day she wakes up and it's like, I'll get some better sleep tomorrow. And eventually days go by and she is serving up breakfast. First he serves Eustace eggs with shells in them. And then he serves a bowling ball, which he thinks is toast. And then eventually he gives Courage an open can of dog food. So Courage decides this enough is enough and tries to get her to sleep by playing a light piano. And Eustace says, "You're keeping me away with that dumb rock and roll music, stupid dog." So he then tries to read War and Peace. Again, that doesn't work either. And then he tries to hypnotize her. Still doesn't work. So he hears snoring. She tells Courage that her mom used to take her on a drive. So he does, and then he hears snoring. But of course, it's not Muriel. And he eventually figures out that it's coming from a castle where Sandman is. And he goes in and he tries to get the same sand that he took from her. He goes, "What are you doing?" And he tells him exactly what's going on. And he's like, "I'm not going to give my sand back to her. This is the best sleep I've had in years." So Courage basically puts himself over the bed. And he goes, "Calm down now. There's not enough room for two of us." And eventually, he feels a mattress, and it's lumpy. And then he goes underneath and finds Sandman's teddy bear, which kind of looks ill-formed. And he goes back her sleep. And she go back to sleep, and all's in well. The next episode is called Hard Drive Courage. So in Hard Drive Courage, the episode begins with them taking care of Eustace, who apparently has caught a cold. And they tried everything. And they tried try this gelatin. And this gelatin is made with vinegar. Ugh. So she decides that it's time for artichoke soup. And he go upstairs to find out the recipe, because the recipe has been torn out. And Muriel hits a button. I guess it shows a naughty picture, I guess. Because you go, "Oh my." Eventually, the computer gets a virus, and he tells Muriel to push button X, which puts her in the hard drive, and Joyce goes upstairs and he finds out that he needs help as well. So he goes in by scanning, And eventually, he goes through this, I guess, hard drive because it's all numbers. And by the way, there's this worm thingy that's sick. And he attacks Courage with some kind of bear trap thingy, and a mouse. And then eventually when he gets to her, he sicks all kinds of stuff on him. Like, I don't know, some kind of little gadgets, and then this shredder, and he's, sucks it with soda pop. And eventually, is that no any way to treat your hard drive? And so he tells him he's not going to go away until he feels better. And she tells him, Muriel tells him, have you ever tried artichoke syrup? He goes, yes, and it didn't work. So she tells him, so Grace tells her that he should try the gelatin that she made. So says he goes, anything but leeches. So Grace goes through the phone line and takes the gelatin. He goes, stupid telemarketers! Yes, this obviously. And Grace tries to get the worm to eat it. He goes, is it organic? She says, it's made with vinegar. He goes, vinegar? Why didn't you say so? I love vinegar. And it cures him. So they go back out and feed this with the artichoke syrup, which is made with vinegar. And Kavee goes, I guess even twits can have a good idea sometimes. And we see Courage and his 10101 form. Alright, the Random Valkyries is next. And this is a pretty good episode. I like it because in this episode, they're on a vacation. And on vacation, they have Valkyrie hats. And they see this blue bird who's eating at the, Zelda, what are you doing? Catherine, silly. So, Eustace angers this little, bird, and he lays an egg on him, and the little hatchlings start pecking him. And so, the birds go by him, by the Valkyries, and sees Valkyries who start singing Divide of the Valkyries. And he tells they see the hat that Muriel was wearing, and they think it's the sister Brunhilde. Well, obviously, it isn't Brunhilde, but they think that Muriel is Brunhilde. And they take her and Courage, and they tell her, we go to sleep and then go to war. And apparently, they're in war with the trolls, who apparently took Brunhilde. So, they think Courage is a spy, and he takes Muriel. Of course, they see the trolls, who also thinks that he's a spy. Eventually, Muriel comes by. That's right. Muriel comes by with the Valkyries. And eventually, Kurt seeks Muriel. And they enter a cave. And they hear this. And they go through this curtain. And they see Brunhilde and this troll. And this troll is in love with Brunhilde. And Brunhilde is in love with the troll. So, they tell them not to tell anybody that they're in love with each other. So, Courage decides to marry the both of them. And they, both the trolls and the Valkyries decide that maybe it's not okay to fight each other and be in love with each other. And eventually they have a feast, and then we see Eustace, who is being cooked by the blue bird. Alright, tomorrow we're going to be talking about Scooby-Doo, Conway the Contaminationist, Cats Under the Sea, and Curtain of Cruelty. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you tomorrow with more Cowardly Dog Howloween.